This obsession with young women and young women's fertility has really been nothing but projection and gaslighting. They found that around 2% of sperm from men in their early 30s carry disease-causing mutations, meaning that fathers who conceive later in life may unknowingly have a higher risk of passing on harmful mutations to their children. What can they say now when they keep shaming women about, oh, you're too old to have a child. You have to get wifed up at 21 or at least 25, because if you don't, your children gonna have these problems because you're an older woman. Your egg count, your egg quality has gone down and all that. Now the scientists have said, no, actually that's not true. This actually the older you get that all these problems keep happening with children. Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. You know that I was going to talk about this. This has shocked a lot of people, especially men, who love to tell women, if you don't hurry up and have children, you're going to have problems with kids and stuff, and you have a biological clock, and the older that you get, the higher risk your kids are for all this other stuff. And scientists have done research, the medical field, and they actually found out it's not the women with a biological clock causing mutations and issues, it's actually the men. It is the men. It says that women's egg quality stays stable with age. It's men's sperm that has a biological clock, and the men have been pretty silent. I don't see a lot of them talking about this very huge news about this, because this has been the case for years, even in other countries. I might cover these stories over in India. There have been a few women who have been unalived because they were unable to get pregnant. And yes, sometimes we can have issues as women, but having miscarriages a lot, which also a lot of times comes from the man, and the family and people unaliving the women, they never think it's something with the man's sperm. So now that this has come out, I couldn't help but think of Drea and her man Jalen. She's older. He's like 22. And she had his child about a year or two ago, and it was a big controversy. But now that this has come out, they're saying basically if you want a more healthier baby as an older woman, you probably might want to have a child with a younger man who has better quality sperm, so the kids don't have mutations or have health issues and all types of stuff. Is this always the case? No. But they're saying, like, when you see these men who are 60 years old, 70, 50, 40, marrying women who are 20, they're basically saying that if you have these men's children, he has a lot of, his sperm is not of quality, and your child might end up with an issue because he's older. So now I'm thinking, will you see more older women who don't have children or want more children flocking to young, sexy, hot men with great bodies and all that, and who are at top health to make these babies with? And yeah, I said that because men are always going in on women who are older, even though there are a number of women who are older who look great. But I mean, hey, a lot of women don't mind being with a younger man. It's just that a lot of younger men don't always have their life together, and a woman needs security and for their children to be okay. A guy who is, damn, I think they said that the quality starts going down at 30. I don't even consider 30 to be old, but if a woman doesn't want to date a younger man, but she's looking to have a baby, she might go to the sperm bank or something and request, look, I want sperm from a 20-year-old that donated, so the baby is healthier. So let me show you some video responses about this, and I'm going to show you the article about this groundbreaking research. But before I show you the video, look, usually you think, look, the egg and the sperm coming together is a joyous event if you're trying to have a baby, and these babies are going to be all happy and healthy and everything. It doesn't matter. We were led to believe that sperm is sperm. That's why guys have thousands and millions of babies in there, because to repopulate the human population, if something goes wrong, we need their sperm, damn it. But now they're saying, well, you could still use the sperm, but if it's old, you might have some issues. That's what they're saying. And with sperm, you get all the man, look, the type of man, you can get your king who's confident and the king. You get your older man with that mustache. You get your cool man, your creative man, all these different types of people that's in his sperm, that might affect your baby and stuff. So, I mean, sperm is considered pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. I mean, look at all that stuff going on with the sperm. It's always interesting to me. I had said to someone, if you really look at sperm, the way that it looks like a tadpole type of thing, but it also looks like a man's private parts, like the head, the mushroom, and then the rest of it. And that's how the sperm looks. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's look at what they're saying in these videos.
Research confirms that the female egg doesn't have a biological clock. It's the male sperm that does. Healthy women's eggs' mitochondrial DNA does not accumulate mutations until age 45, whereas men's sperm DNA fragmentation inevitably begins at age 30, and the older a man becomes, the more gene errors occur, backed by evidence. Therefore, time is evidently a primary limiting factor for men, not women, and pregnancies from older women with younger men are on average significantly safer than pregnancies with older men and younger women. Also, studies on increased infertility risk of women over 35 are a trick to blame women for men's shortcomings because most women have older partners, but the study models only focus on the women's outcome of a successful or unsuccessful pregnancy, ignoring the elephant in the room. Therefore, if you want to make that argument, men don't need younger women, but women need younger men. Ladies, do you think men should marry in their 20s before they become overripe and expired? Let me know your thoughts below.
Now, I told y'all the patriarchy is backwards day every day. It's been so interesting to see the news recently about men's fertility and women's fertility, and how basically everything we've been told about women's fertility as we age has been a freaking lie. But not only a freaking lie, no, but we've also found out that lie directly mimics what actually happens to men. It's almost like they, what do you call it? Projected onto us. This obsession with young women and young women's fertility has really been nothing but projection and gaslighting. Literally the number 2 and 3 most popular tools of the patriarchy. So men have been projecting their own reality and insecurities about said reality onto women.
Okay, so it's a little bit on my system and it's moving a little bit slow, but that's basically it for her video. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the average men, they don't know really. A lot of doctors don't even understand women's menstrual cycles still. When women are saying that they're having issues, I won't say it in this video, but very severe problems during the menstrual cycle, some things. And doctors are saying, oh no, it's normal. It's normal. I'm going to say, oh, it's normal to have a clot the size of a chicken breast and almost a tennis ball and a grapefruit. That's not normal. And that's what doctors have been telling women, complaining. Or like, I'm going through a pad filled up within 30 minutes. And they're saying, oh no, that's normal. And then they're saying, oh no, you should only have about a teaspoon or a tablespoon of menstrual. That's what one of my relatives told me. And I'm like, what? So no, they don't know. Okay, now they're doing more research and they're like, actually, no, it's the man with the biological clock, not the woman. Okay, I'll show you. Let's see if I can show you one more video.
Breaking news in menopause, fertility, and aging. A brand new study out of UC San Francisco now completely changes everything we know about the ovary. For decades, we've been told that declining fertility is all about egg quality and egg supply. And as we age, the number of eggs and their quality decreases. But the truth, the ovary is more than just a vault of eggs. It's an entire ecosystem, alive, dynamic, and communicating with the rest of the body.
Okay, so with that video, they're not really talking about the sperm and the egg thing, but it's still some good information. Basically, they're doing more research when it comes to us as women, our ovaries and our eggs, and basically, again, it's not us with the biological clock. Okay, so this is the article I want to share with you about this discovery. And here's the thing, ladies. Still, if you don't have a menstrual cycle, we all know we cannot get pregnant. But before that happens, if you want to have a baby, you can still have a healthy baby. Now, there are older men who have had healthy babies with women who are young and middle age and not even old. I've seen this a lot. Sometimes the babies are fine, and in some cases you do have issues, okay? And even sometimes when the man is younger, but they're just saying there's a higher likelihood because the sperm quality has gone down. The age men's sperm starts to go bad, scientists uncover when mutations surge, raising children's disease risk. It says older fathers are more likely to pass on disease-causing mutations to their children. Concerning research has suggested studies have long shown that older mothers face a greater risk of birth defects because the quality of their eggs may make them more prone to chromosomal abnormalities. But now, a UK scientist who tracked dozens of healthy men, hold on, let me make this a little bit, okay, of healthy men discovered that delaying fatherhood could carry its own consequences by unknowingly passing on multiple harmful mutations to children. DNA testing found that among men in their early 30s, around 1 in 50 sperm had disease-causing mutations. This rose, however, to almost 1 in 20 between the ages of 43 and 70. And you know, some women, this sucks hearing stuff like this because some women want to have an older man. As a lot of older women, I see them online, feel ashamed for being attracted to men who are younger. They're like, oh, he's not too far off from my son and all this other stuff, even though he's not your son. And they're like, oh, I need someone older. And some women who haven't had kids but are older, like, oh, well, I should choose a more mature man, got it together, he's older, he has sperm, it can't possibly be bad. Now you're hearing something like this. It's like, oh my God, should I have a child with an older man? I mean, it's not always having a risk, but it's an increase of it. Okay, it says again that it rose to almost 1 in 20 with men between the ages of 43 and 70. Experts who labeled the research important said the findings clearly show that older fathers have a higher risk of passing on more pathogenic mutations, and would-be parents should take this into account. It comes as a growing body of research has suggested that sperm counts, a measure of a male's fertility, are also declining globally, with some estimates showing a fall of as much as 60% in over a generation. Oh my God. Before the year 2000, studies showed that the average sperm count was falling roughly 1% each year. Since then, the rate continues to decline. It's doubled. Oh my goodness. According to the UK's most recent fertility index survey, young men today are nearly 3 times more likely to have fertility issues than older generations. Yeah, because smoking weed and alcohol also ruins the sperm. I heard drinking 7-Up can do something to the sperm. I don't know if that was just some made up thing, but smoking weed and all that does do things, okay? Dr. Matthew says that he's a biologist and he's at Cambridge. He says that he did the study. He says, we expected to find some evidence of selection shaping mutations in sperm. What surprised us is just how much it drives up the number of sperm carrying mutations linked to serious diseases. Another professor, Matt Hurls, director of it says that our findings reveal a hidden genetic risk that increases with paternal age. The men. Some changes in DNA not only survive but thrive within testes, meaning that fathers who conceive later in life may unknowingly have a higher risk of passing on harmful mutations to their children. In the study, they said that they analyzed more than 1,000 sperm from 81 men between the ages of 24 and 75. The approach allowed them to identify a wide range of mutations in more than 40 genes that trigger sperm stem cells to mutate, a phenomenon dubbed by some experts as selfish sperm. They found that around 2% of sperm from men in their early 30s carry disease-causing mutations. Okay, it says that this proportion increased to between 3 and 5% with men ages 43 to 74. Among 70-year-old men, 4.5% of their sperm contain harmful mutations, showing a clear link between age and a genetic risk of to your children. Within the journal Nature, they said that the increase was not caused solely by random DNA errors accumulating over time. Instead, a subtle form of natural selection within the testes appears to give certain mutations a reproductive advantage, allowing them to become more common during sperm formation. Okay. It says mutations in the 40 genes have been linked to conditions including autism and a raised risk of certain cancers. Oh my goodness. But the research also cautioned that although the number of sperm carrying harmful mutations rose with age, not every one of these mutations could lead to a conception or a pregnancy. Some may prevent fertilization or normal embryo development, aka having a miscarriage or not being able to have a baby, while others could cause, a miscarriage. Further research was vital. They added to determine how the growing number of sperm mutations affect children's health outcomes. It's something, again, in other countries where the men and family members are literally murking women who can't get pregnant, and sometimes it's coming from the men. But they're so far gone, they would never even believe that, even today, hearing it. Okay. In some of these places. Unlike women who are born with all the eggs they will ever have, men begin to produce sperm between the ages of 10 and 12 and continue to do so for the rest of their life. The average man will make millions of sperm every day and then take about 3 months to fully mature. But despite being able to survive outside the body, because sperm can live like 3 or 5 days, the sperm cells are actually fragile. Seemingly small changes in body chemistry can have a profound impact on their ability to move, grow, and fertilize an egg, aka get us pregnant. And any shift in the amount of sperm in a given quantity of semen, the sperm count, can impact a man's ability to have a child, to make a woman pregnant. The NHS does not provide routine sperm freezing facilities. It is typically only offered for men whose fertility may be impaired by medical conditions or treatments like cancer therapy. Private clinics, however, do offer the service for around £3,000 a year, plus the cost of fertility treatments when a man wants to use frozen sperm to impregnate a woman. So, what do you think about this, baby? The men are very, very, very silent. I haven't seen hardly any of them talking about this. What can they say now when they keep shaming women about, oh, you're too old to have a child. You have to get wifed up at 21 or at least 25, because if you don't, your children gonna have these problems because you're an older woman. Your egg count, your egg quality has gone down and all that. Now the scientists have said, no, actually that's not true. This actually the older you get that all these problems keep happening with children, because your sperm quality and other health conditions and all types of stuff, issues you have is being with the children. So what are y'all gonna say instead of always shaming women? when it's actually coming from the man. I mean, yes, women, we can have issues. You do have to eat healthy and have healthy levels and stuff that can affect the baby and all that other stuff. Okay, but they're saying from this research, we saw a lot of gene mutations and cancers that can come, and a lot of serious illnesses and diseases coming from the low sperm quality, the sperm count of the man, who are older. And they said ages, especially like 40 and up. I think they even said a little bit of the 30s. But again, yes, you can still have a healthy baby with a man who's older. I've seen it. But the risk is increasing because he's older. And maybe, I mean, if you're dating an older man, maybe they have research they can do. If y'all want to have a baby, you can go to the doctor, and I think they can look at the sperm and they can see if there's any issues type of thing. Does he have healthy sperm? And of course, they're going to look at you if you have any issues, because yes, there are women with issues, uterine, endometriosis, PCOS, and all types of things that can make pregnancy a little bit difficult, those issues. So, but this is groundbreaking. I hope they do more research, because society as a whole loves to blame women when there's always an issue, especially when it comes to conceiving a baby. And, they'll say, oh, you need to eat yams, you need to do this, you need to do that. And yes, you want to be healthy, because they can do some things, but they're saying, look, actually, baby, it's the man's sperm. Okay, it's the man's sperm. So what do y'all think about this now that this research has come out and it's actually men with the biological clock? All right, baby. So please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell as usual. And click all notifications so you know when I'm live and when I'm uploading, so you can see these videos and when I'm going live. And hit the hype button if you can, if it's under this video, the hype button. So thank you all, everybody. Okay, baby, I know these comments are going to be crazy hearing something like this. Let us know, everybody. And would you date a younger man? If you're getting older and you haven't had a child, or you want more children, would you go to a younger man? How young are you willing to go to have a higher risk of a healthier baby? Let us know in the comments section, okay? You all take care. Bye, everybody.